What is fiscal registration in general? Fiscal registration means that we as retailers who is selling the things are eligible to register all our transactions in some fiscal device or the service and make them available for tax authorities on demand. On the image, you see a very European, for example, style of fiscal integration. When you have the retail system, this will be our point of sale. And point of sale is sending transactional information to the fiscal printer. Fiscal printer looks very similar as the normal printer. So visually, you will not distinguish which printer is fiscal and which printer is regular. But fiscal printer is clever. Fiscal printer has a fiscal memory inside it that is able to record all the transactional information, and sometimes it just stores it inside the fiscal memory. Sometimes fiscal printer through the special software is also able to send all your sales information to the government or to the tax authorities. In general, when we talk about fiscal registration, we are saying that we as a retailer eligible to send our transactions to some fiscal service or the device, and this fiscal services device is normally sending this information to government or tax authorities. Fiscal registration is not something that retailer decides to use or not to use. These requirements comes from the government. If government tells us that we have to fiscalize our transactions, then we will be doing this. For example, if we take the European countries, the fiscal registration is mandatory in Germany, in Italy, Czech Republic, in Austria, in some parts of the Spain, in Lithuania. So there are a lot of countries that require the fiscal registration. Fiscal registration can be different. For example, one country requires you to send the transaction when it starts. In Germany, as soon as you start selling, you will have to send the start of the transaction to the fiscal service. When you end transaction, you again send this information to the fiscal service. The same if you finish transaction or you cancel the transaction. In some countries, it's required only to send the transaction when it's finished. In some countries, it's required to send only sales transactions to the fiscal service. In some countries, it's required to send also cash transactions like tender declaration, bank drop, or safe drop. So every country defines, like we call it, which fiscal events should be registered. And it's not something that you as developer know by heart. Normally, when any new fiscal integration requirement comes, you will have to work with a legal advisor who knows exactly how to register the transactions, because this requirement, it comes from the government and it's very strict requirement what you should register, how you should register, which information you should send.